Welcome back to Ask Allison. Here's today's question. How can I attract more clients? Short and sweet, right? So first, I want to thank TherapyNotes for sponsoring Ask Allison. They are an all-inclusive, simple, affordable practice management system. They've got everything you want and need in your private practice, from your calendar so that you can put your clients in, notes, video conferencing. You can process credit cards through them at a really low rate, lower than everything else out there. It's the highest rated EHR on Trustpilot, and it also uses the golden thread, which automatically propagates the information from a previous note into your current note. So you're not having to type all the same stuff over and over. You can check them out and sign up for 2 months for free if you go to therapynotes.com and you enter the promo code ABUNDANT. You'll be able to play with it for a little while for free. All right, so how do I attract more clients? It's a really broad question that usually comes from brand new newbies. So to liken it to a therapy-esque thing, it's like asking, how do I stop being anxious? New folks to private practice will often ask this question of their private practice peers and then try to emulate what they're doing. But that's like an untrained therapist trying to do EMDR. Like, you can wave your fingers in my face, but it's not going to do anything. So the reason that using the same marketing techniques doesn't work is because you're a totally different person with a totally different practice, different interests, different skills, and possibly a different client population. So without understanding the purpose, the underpinnings of each marketing effort, your efforts are going to be disjointed and they fall flat. Do you remember when you realized theory mattered? I remember I just wanted a bunch of techniques when I was in grad school, just tell me what to say and what to do. And then I was like, oh, at some point, about how the theory is the underpinning of why you're doing what you're doing. This is the same thing with marketing. You need to understand why you're on social media and what the goals are of that platform. You need to understand why your website needs to be great, what the goals are there. So there are 4 things that I believe to be necessary for all private practice clinicians in order to have full, healthy, happy practices. The first is clarity about what you want that practice to look like. I have an entire course in the Abundance Party about this, because if you were going to do all the work of starting a business, I want you to build the right business. I don't want you to be in a situation where you basically created yourself another agency job. The second thing is a niche. No, your niche does not have to be all you see, but your marketing, in order to be effective, needs to speak to a specific concern. So when I had postpartum depression, the people who listed postpartum depression or perinatal mood disorders among a bunch of a long list of other struggles, I didn't choose those people. I didn't trust that they really, truly cared about perinatal mood disorders and were really, truly trained in it. I know I wasn't. And this is partly because when we're suffering, whether it's you, whether it's your clients, any human being suffering, we feel really different and really special in that suffering. We feel really lonely in it. And so we're more likely to choose the therapist who speaks to the thing we were just thinking 5 minutes ago, because they clearly get it. So I ended up choosing the therapist who spoke exclusively about perinatal mood disorders because I trusted that she knew what she was doing if she was basing her entire practice on that. Seeing our experience reflected back creates that kind of trust that this therapist knows what they're doing. All right, so number 3 is a really good website. What makes a website good? I would say it's a modern, clean template. We don't want this to look like 1998. Clean, lots of white space, copy, that's the words on your site, that speaks to your ideal client's day-to-day struggles, a confident, warm picture or pictures of you. Sometimes we veer towards pictures of us where we think we look really cute, or we look really good, or we look thinner, or we look whatever. Y'all, our clients don't care. What I want is what I want is for you to be able to create a picture. And in the worksheet for this week, the free one, I'll talk about this a little more, but I want your picture to be really clean, happy. You look like you know what you're doing. You look confident. You look safe. That's not likely to be one where you're posing in ways that are a little provocative, or ones where you're like, ooh, I really like the way my figure looks there. we're talking about your face. Focus on what your client needs to see in that picture. We also really want your website to be clear in terms of what you want your clients to do next. Calls to action are those things at the bottom, like call today for blah, blah, blah. We want to make sure that that is very clear because our clients are leaning on our websites and many of them want to know how to get in touch with us. So we need to make it easy for them. All right, number 4, a networking plan. By and large, your practice is going to build from your relationship with people. It's the gift that keeps on giving. For years and years and years, you buy coffee or lunch one day, and that ends up saving you thousands and thousands of dollars on marketing and advertising costs because you're forming a relationship with a human being who believes in you. They've talked to you so they can trust referring to you. We walk through all the steps of these and help you decide on a marketing strategy that you're actually going to do and that's going to work for you and put you in the best light. In the Abundance Party, it's only $49 a month and it teaches you everything you need to know to help your ideal clients find you. Today's worksheet talks through the purpose of 5 popular marketing strategies so you can do them more effectively. You got to have those underpinnings, right? You got to understand the theory behind why you're doing what you're doing. If you have questions for Ask Allison, I'd love to answer them. So please shoot me a DM over on Instagram and I'll pop it in the queue.